money is kind of an exchange of energy, and you really need that reward for yourself.
Definitely, so don't undervalue yourself and your project and your business, but also don't overestimate it.
Jazz amore, jazz amore.
Ciao, my name is Eleonora.
And my name is Rossella.
And together we are
Jazz Amore.
And this is our channel where we share motivational videos, inspirational stories,
musician mindset and marketing tips for musicians who want to start living from music.
If you want to find out how to know your value and set the fee for your gigs, please keep watching. If you're watching this video, it's probably because you already have your music project, you know your niche, you have your repertoire, and you're looking for places and locations, venues, events where to propose your project, but you don't know how to set your fee. So maybe we can give you a bit more insights on this.
Yeah, the first thing to do is understand the market. What does it mean? You need to analyze your competitors. And we can say you can analyze your 3 major competitors. For example, you can check them online, on social medias, and probably you can go on Instagram and find them and understand what do they do and where do they go to play and how is their presence online. If they have a website, for example, where they sell gigs, or they have the calendar of the events, you can, analyze and check all the places where they're going to play, and you can analyze a little bit the market. Also, what is really important is to have your circle of musicians, because just like that, you can, humbly asking, what is the fee of a gig? For example, when we came in Australia, it was completely a new market. We really didn't know how to set our value. So my personal experience is that as soon as I arrived, I already had few gigs because I put a post on Italians in Sydney, and I was looking for musicians, and these musicians actually gave me the first gigs. So as soon as I arrived, 5 days later, I already had my first concert, and I already knew the fee at that point. So I knew what to ask around. For Eleonora, was completely different experience, for example.
Yeah, in my case, I arrived here with a totally different job. I had my guitar, I wanted to start gigging around, but I had no one that actually gave me any gigs like Rossella, so wasn't that lucky. But I knew Rossella and I knew other musicians, because that's the first thing you do, right? Networking. So the main thing for me was to simply ask questions like, how much do you get for a gig and how much people pay you? Like, even if it's just a range, it doesn't have to be her specific fee. I don't want to know that. For me, it's just to understand pretty much. The question could be, I want to have a gig too, so what should I ask? And then she gave me this answer, and pretty much I understood the range, because that's the most important thing. And then within that range, you can understand where you fall into. For example, in my experience, I had no online material, for example, like not much to share about what I did in the past. Pretty new to the market, just arrived in Australia. Of course, I couldn't ask for the higher end of the price range. So I need to be a bit more humble and accept whatever the market was offering for a new musician on the market.
Yes, it's also really important to understand that you are a business. So you have to think with a business mind what a real business does, like if they have to offer a product or a service. At the beginning, they have a launch offer. Everyone, we are not different from them, okay? Even if we make art, we are musicians, we want to fight to be really well paid because we want that people understand our value and what we bring out there. But if you think of yourself as a business, you're gonna have a launch price that is gonna be a little, lower than what you really expect, because you can always grow after that.
And my mistake, for example, was to definitely not consider myself as a business. I just considered myself as a musician who had fun playing. And So that was my biggest mistake, because of course I wouldn't sell myself. I still struggle to sell myself. Luckily there is Rosella who does that for us. But yeah, seriously, for me, because I enjoy it so much, I would do it even for free. But if I think about it that way, then first I'm gonna screw up the market for everyone else, for every other musician, because you can't then expect other people to ask fees if you don't, and then you keep ruining the local market. And the other thing is, it's still your time. You're putting a lot of effort in preparing the songs, getting ready for the gig, share with your friends, share on social media. It's a lot of work. So if you think of yourself as a business, there is a lot of prep you need to do. And then the actual gig should actually count for not only the gig itself, and that's of course the best part of it, it's fun, but everything else that happened before. So it's kind of fair to ask a fee, even though you enjoy it, like me, for example.
For the amount of gig that we have now, like that we play like 5 gigs a week, 6, also 7 sometimes, it's really hard to do it for free at one point, you know. It's a kind of an energy. You do something, you want to be rewarded, because you don't know where are you going to play. Sometimes there is no one, you're playing for no one, the gig is not exciting. So if you really don't get even the money for that, you know, there is really no point to put your time and your effort for this kind of thing. Money is kind of an exchange of energy, okay? Take it like that. And you really need that reward for yourself.
Yes, definitely. So don't undervalue yourself and your project and your business, but also don't overestimate it, because that could do the opposite. If you understand the price range and you try to go a bit higher because you count in all the extra work, but you might have not a huge fame, for example. You're not well known. Nobody knows what you're playing. Well, in that case, you don't want to overprice yourself, because then people are not going to call you just thinking, okay, this guy, nobody knows this guy, and he asks even more than other musicians. So that's also something to avoid.
So keeping in mind that you are a business and you are launching your first offer, set a deadline for this launch offer. Like, for example, for 3 months, I'm gonna go at my lowest fee just to promote myself and to let people getting to know me.
Yeah, and then you understand what's the minimum you actually are willing to be paid. Because of course, there at some point you'll be like, oh, I'm not gonna even set up and pack all my gear and go to this place if gonna pay me below this fee. So that's the main thing, understanding your minimum acceptable fee. Once you know your value, don't share it. Don't just go and say, this is my typical fee, because you may be asking less than what they're willing to pay. So the one question you need to ask is, what's your budget? That's it. That's the key question. Once you ask them, like your client, the venue, whoever is hiring you, what's your budget? They hopefully are gonna give you an expectation of pretty much what you can negotiate around. So knowing your fee, what's the minimum for you, then you might be happy with what they offer, or you can ask for a little bit more. Or
as Mel Robbins says, that we always look her videos, she always says back, I generally charge double, which is a very hard, answer to give. It's hard, like we almost never did it. But for sure you can negotiate. It's your right to negotiate. So for example, if a venue tells you, okay, our budget for you girls it's $1,000, you have the right to negotiate, and you can say, oh, we generally charge $1,500, and you're gonna meet at the middle way at the end of the day, but still you earned a little bit more than what was their initial fee.
We definitely recommend you to watch Mel Robbins' video. We're gonna link it down below.
She's an amazing life and business coach. We always follow her videos and they are really, really insightful for us. And remember guys, don't be the limit of yourself. It's really, really important.
Thank you for watching. If you watched this far, please don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and let us know by commenting down below the word
mandolino.
Ciao!